They look at me, and they see nothing special. That's the first mistake everyone makes. People assume power must announce itself, loud, confident, visible, but real strength hides in silence. It waits, it observes, it learns, and when the time comes, it strikes with precision. You underestimate me, because that's what I want you to do. The moment you think you figured me out, I've already learned everything about you. People always rush to prove themselves. They crave validation. They want others to see their worth. I don't, because the need to be recognized is the first sign of weakness. When you depend on others to define your value, you become their slave. I learned long ago that strength isn't about showing what you can do, it's about never needing to prove it. Everyone around me fights for attention, fighting to be seen as powerful. They want control, but true control doesn't come from dominance, it comes from invisibility. When you're invisible, no one can predict your next move. When no one sees you coming, they can't prepare for you. That's why I stay quiet. That's why I let them underestimate me. Because the moment they think I'm harmless is the moment I win. Most people don't understand how dangerous silence can be. They think talking makes them powerful. They think being loud earns respect. But when you speak less, you make every word carry weight. Silence confuses people. It forces them to fill the gaps with their own fear, their own assumptions, and assumptions destroy even the strongest opponent. I don't have to fight them physically. I let their imagination do the work. In every situation, I watch first. I don't rush to act. I don't speak to impress. I study. People reveal more than they realize through words, movements, tone. Every reaction exposes a weakness, and when you collect enough of those, you don't need strength to defeat them. You only need timing. A single, precise move, and the whole game changes. That's my strategy. Stay invisible until visibility guarantees victory. You underestimate me because you measure power by what you can see. You think strength is shouting, fighting, leading, but strength is the ability to walk into chaos and remain calm, to see through deception, to never let emotions cloud judgment. That's why so many people fail. They're too reactive. They mistake emotion for power. They let anger dictate action. They let fear dictate silence. I don't let anything dictate me. People say emotions make us human. Maybe they do, but they also make us weak. A person ruled by emotion is predictable, and predictability is death. When you can't control yourself, anyone can control you. So I trained myself to detach, not to feel nothing, but to never let feelings take command. You can't manipulate someone who doesn't react. You can't break someone who doesn't resist. You can only lose to them. In this world, most people live in illusions. They overestimate others and underestimate themselves. But I prefer the opposite. I overestimate everyone not because I fear them, but because it keeps me sharp. When you assume everyone has potential to destroy you, you never relax. You observe, you adapt, you evolve. And when you evolve silently, the world never sees you coming. Every victory I've had came from being underestimated. They saw a quiet face and thought it meant weakness. They saw silence and thought it meant fear. They never realized silence was the trap. I never argue. I never explain. I let people draw their conclusions, and I let those conclusions destroy them. When you let your opponent believe they're in control, they stop paying attention. And that's when you take everything. Power isn't about brute strength. It's about awareness. The more aware you are, the less control others have over you. I can read intentions, emotions, and patterns without needing to ask. Observation is a weapon. People talk too much, move too fast, and reveal too easily. But the one who listens, the one who watches, he always wins. Every person wants something. Attention, love, approval. I want none of it. Because the less you need from the world, the more powerful you become. Dependence gives others leverage. Independence makes you untouchable. When I walk into a room, I don't try to stand out. I don't chase influence. I already have control, because control doesn't need to be seen. It needs to be felt. Most people are predictable because they follow emotion. They seek comfort and avoid discomfort. But discomfort is where truth hides. That's where you grow, where you understand who you really are. I live in that discomfort. That's why people can't reach me. They fear the very place where I find strength. Sometimes, The most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Let others act first. Let them make the first mistake. While they rush, you analyze. While they speak, you calculate. And when they fall, you don't celebrate, you learn. Every failure around you is a lesson in what not to become. I never compete to prove I'm better. I compete only to understand how people break and how not to. Manipulation fails against someone who doesn't seek acceptance. If you can stand alone, you can never be controlled. That's the secret. People can only use you when you need them. Once you need no one, you become a threat to everyone. That's why isolation isn't weakness, it's evolution. Most people can't be alone because they fear their thoughts. I use solitude as training. Silence sharpens clarity. Underestimation is fuel. Every time someone doubts you, they hand you an advantage. They stop watching. They relax. They let their guard down. That's when you strike. Never correct people when they underestimate you. Let them stay blind. Let them feel safe. Let them think they've already won. Because when they least expect it, they'll realize they were never in control you were. True strength doesn't need attention. It doesn't need praise. It doesn't even need recognition. Because strength that depends on acknowledgement isn't strength, it's insecurity wearing armor. I don't need the world to see me as powerful. I just need to know that I can win, even when no one believes I can. Especially then. People often ask why I don't react when others attack me. Why I don't fight back immediately. Because reaction gives them power. When you react, you let them control your tempo. But when you stay calm, when you refuse to break, they start losing control. The silence you hold becomes heavier than their words. Eventually, they break themselves trying to break you. To master others, master yourself first. That's not a quote, it's a law. You can't control the world if you can't control your impulses. Every battle begins inside your mind, before it ever reaches the outside. Most people lose before they even start because they fight emotion with emotion. I fight emotion with logic. That's the difference between chaos and clarity. Strength isn't measured in victories, it's measured in restraint. Anyone can fight when they're angry. Few can stay still when provoked. That's why people underestimate me. They think calm means weak. But calmness is power refined. Anger is fire. Calm is the hand that directs it. I let others burn themselves while I choose when to strike. In life, people will test you. They'll push, provoke, manipulate. Don't give them the reaction they're fishing for. Give them silence, because silence is confusion, and confusion is control. They'll call you cold, they'll call you distant, but that's fine. Let them name what they can't understand. Every label they throw is just proof that they can't read you. Most fail because they want to be liked. They care too much about opinions. I don't. Opinions change, facts don't. And the fact is, power belongs to the one who doesn't seek approval. When you're no longer afraid to be misunderstood, you become dangerous. Because then, nothing can be used against you. When I act, I make it look effortless. Not because it's easy, but because I've already done the work in silence. Every victory is born from discipline unseen. You only see results when the time comes. That's the essence of hidden strength. It's not what you show, it's what you prepare. The world rewards noise, but the wise reward silence. Everyone wants to be seen. Few want to be prepared. I'm not here to impress the crowd. I'm here to outlast them. And endurance doesn't come from applause, it comes from focus. Quiet, relentless, lonely focus. You can underestimate me all you want. You can mock the silence, mistake it for emptiness, call it emotionless. But when the dust settles, when your noise fades, my calm remains. Because real power isn't loud, it's patient. It's waiting in the shadows while the loud destroy themselves trying to be noticed. That's my strength strategy. The more you underestimate me, the more freedom I gain. The less you watch, the more I move. The moment you stop paying attention, I strike once, precisely, and effectively. Then I disappear again. That's how you control without ever seeming in control. That's how you win without ever needing to fight. The truth is, I don't need you to believe in me. I don't need to prove I'm strong. Because strength is not a show. It's not what the world sees. It's what you build in silence. It's what you carry when no one claps for you. It's what keeps you standing when everyone else breaks. So underestimate me. Laugh if you want. Ignore me if you must. But But when the time comes when the quiet one finally moves, you'll realize the mistake. Because while you were busy talking, I was busy watching. While you were trying to win attention, I was mastering myself. And in the end, that's what wins every battle. Not force, not luck, not talent, but control. I don't chase respect, I create it. I don't demand power, I become it. You can't manipulate what you don't understand, and you'll never understand me, because I don't want to be understood. I want to be unpredictable. I want to be unseen, because that's how the silent dominate the loud. So remember this the next time you underestimate someone quiet. Don't mistake stillness for weakness. Don't confuse silence with surrender, because some of us speak only when the outcome is already decided, and by the time you realize that, it's already too late.